as a woman of color, working in the field, being a manager for the first time after I graduated. I've had to change the way I look, the way I speak, my tone. Those are the things I've had to work on over the years. So there's no question when I walk in the room, oh, she's a woman of authority.
This is Denise Wallen-Grant, Senior Director of Retail Allocation for Coach North America. She's sitting down with Victor Luis, CEO of Tapestry, a house of modern luxury brands including Coach, Kate Spade, and Stuart Weitzman, headquartered in Manhattan's newest iconic development, Hudson Yards.
When you went through that process, did you feel like you were still being authentic to yourself?
Not really. In the early years, I definitely wasn't authentic. There was some duality there. I had to prove myself, basically teaching myself my role.
I'm Y-Vonne Hutchinson. As a D&I expert, I help organizations build more inclusive and diverse corporate cultures.
In this series, we're sitting employees across from their CEOs. These are business leaders who are part of CEO Action for Diversity and Inclusion, the largest business coalition committed to advancing D&I. Today, as part of this commitment, they'll have an open dialogue with an employee about the challenges of the modern workplace and the ways to overcome them.
Denise lives in Yonkers, New York with her husband and 3 young girls, where they own and run a local bagel shop. Working as an industry leader in luxury fashion, Denise attributes a large part of her success to her husband's support at home and her upbringing as a first-generation Jamaican American.
The goal for me was to be the first to go to college. The plan was to be a doctor. And my senior year, I decided that this really wasn't for me. But my part-time job throughout my 4 years in college was working in a retail store. And my store manager at the point of graduation told me I should probably just go into assistant management in the meantime until I figured out what I wanted to do.
And so how did your family respond when you told them that you were shifting course?
They were very frustrated and very upset. It took about 20 years to get here, but they're very proud of me. I'm also proud of myself and that everything worked out.
With the support of mentors like her store manager and opportunities to network, Denise eventually found her path to leadership. But getting her foot in the door on the corporate side of retail was not an easy road.
I'm curious, especially given your identity, do you feel like you faced bias as you were trying to get into the industry or apply for new jobs?
I really hid behind my name a lot, so no one really knew who I was until I walked into the room. So I sensed sometimes in interviews that I wasn't what they were expecting, but I try to prove through my experience and my education that I can do the role.
In 2014, Victor was appointed the role as Coach's CEO. He oversaw the acquisition of Kate Spade and Stuart Weitzman to form Tapestry, Inc., as Denise was stepping into her role at Coach. Similar to Denise, he often felt like an outsider on his path to leadership and developed a sense of empathy and need to fight for inclusivity.
To make this place better for you, better for us, and richer and truly reflective of the tapestry that we want it to be, where do you see those main opportunities?
As a senior director in the company, when I go to like director and above meetings, I don't see a lot of diversity there. I see it more from middle management down in the field and the individual contributors. So I think that's where the opportunity really lies.
I believe we still have a tremendous amount of work to do, not just in terms of helping to elevate the current members at more junior levels, but also even at the most senior members of the organization, that we really set very clear goals for ourselves in including people in that interview pool that are people of color.
That's great. That's great to hear.
In order to broaden the scope of Tapestry's workforce, Victor prioritizes employee engagement, contribution, and diversity within the corporate framework.
One of the things that's really sort of emerged from our conversation are the themes of identity and authenticity in the fashion world at large. And I'd love to hear from you, Victor, what you think other companies can learn from your experience.
I think part of what has differentiated Tapestry's brands has been that we have by nature been about being more approachable. There's been a tremendous amount of discussions in our space where mistakes have been made. But by having individuals with different backgrounds, different experiences, different races, different cultures around the table, you can avoid some of those issues.
In an effort to foster a more inclusive environment, Victor is working to give his employees a voice through several D&I initiatives.
The diversity and inclusion initiatives have really ramped up in the past year with Black History Month, the Inclusion Council, the Day of Understanding. Was there a reason or something that triggered this recent push towards these initiatives?
I think it's always been a part of, first and foremost, my beliefs and my own personal story. For me, the conversation really started to ramp up when we started to talk about Tapestry and thinking about what values we really wanted to focus on. And the three that came out, optimism, innovation, and inclusivity. So at the end of the day, for me, the idea of Tapestry and the metaphor of Tapestry was not just that we have these different brands and the identity that they have, but also the idea of anyone from anywhere can have the best idea.